Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lady Coding Happy Hour. We're doing another takeover, and this time it's Tokyo themed. Ignore my aquarium. Today we are joined by some of my lovely friends. I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves, but first I am Maria Gabriela Ochoa Perez Waechter, she of many names, and I totally forgot what I was going to say. Paige.
I think you're supposed to tell us who you work for.
Oh no! They always do the introduction first, though, and then they go back around with like each person. I don't know. I really wish the interns would like get us like a show list or something. Like,
if only they gave us like an intro right beforehand and originally told us everything we needed to do.
If only they prepared us in any way. But I work at Servos. I've been on ServiceNow for about 6 years-ish now, and I love all things Portal and UI Builder. Do not listen to the intern in the chat. Erlayo Duque is not saying anything true. And my drink today is going to be Sprite, because obviously I'm not coherent enough before drinking. Go for it, Paige.
All right. So I'm Paige Duffey. I work with ServiceNow as a product success manager these days for a whole 3 months now. But I've been in the ServiceNow ecosystem for about 12 years. So I've got some experience with ServiceNow. I think we're supposed to do our drinks separate, but since you've already done yours, I'll do mine. It was supposed to be this lovely wine, but my bottle opener has died. So it's probably just going to be fake until you make it with water. I'm sure it'll be a 5-star. I'll pass it over to you, Ebony.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ebony Akkebala, like a Akkebala cookie or Akkebala elf, however you want to pronounce it. That's the way it is. I actually started my journey in ServiceNow through a program called Tech Bridge that helps with people that are underemployed/unemployed to transition in the tech-based careers. So found myself actually making that journey in 2019 and actually getting my start in 2020. And everyone knows how 2020 was. But I'm here. I'm a developer, and I've been learning from so many different people. The drink that I have is Smirnoff Ice. Ooh. And I work for Synoptic as a senior consultant.
Job title. That's something else I forgot. Go for it, Sharon.
I am Sharon Bartz. I am working over at Raymond James nowadays, and I am the lead engineer of their citizen developer team, and really looking forward at growing that team and just helping. I suppose the main focus of what I do is to help people who are not normally developers get to really be enabled and empowered to automate the cool things and the repetitive things they do every single day of their life. So happy to join WomenNow for this Lady Cody happy hour. And also I will be drinking today a hard cider that is new to me. It is a strawberry flavored one. So we'll see whether that's a good one or not.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
I love Angry Orchard so much. So Paige, what's our topic for today?
Well, so we're going to take a stab at building an experience in UIB for a little app that I've created. I will be honest, I have not played with this in Tokyo, and I've not played with it in several months, so it should be interesting.
Perfect. Everybody's going to get to learn along with you. People in the chat, if you have any tips, tricks, or, backseat driving inclinations, let us know. I'll be happy to communicate your lovely messages to Paige.
All right. I will just go ahead and get started then. So the app itself, sorry, I can see the chat as well. The app itself is just a way to aggregate resources. So in my whole 3 months at ServiceNow, I have learned that we have a lot of different resources and content all over the place. Some of it's internal, some of it's external, and it is just everywhere and of varying degrees of depth and age. And so I found it overwhelming very quickly. And I tried to, yeah, it's sad. But I went ahead and I created an app to try and start kind of sorting that and, labeling it. So, things go into topics and things of that nature.
Can you zoom in a little bit? I think like 130 is perfect.
Yeah. I have a really big screen.
Thank
It's
you.
150. Hope that's not too big. But so just so we have an idea of what we're kind of looking at. You can't see that.
Our intern is right. This is Ebony's first lady coding happy hour. Very excited to have her here. She's one of the awesome developers in the WomenNow community. I'm totally claiming her. Yep, she's
Shucks.
she's just part of our community. How nervous on a scale of 1 to 10 are you, Ebony?
Whew. Can I say 35?
35? That's totally valid.
I guess it's just like I'm thinking in the back of my head, what is everybody thinking about me? Like, I'm so new to this as compared to everyone else. But
what am I going to say this time that I'm going to regret for the rest of my life?
Oh, you're not helping.
Oh, B, thank you.
I am just putting in
like
some resources.
Paige is
while
making
you guys...
some demo data.
Yes, she is. Gotta have demo data.
Paige, let us know when you're ready to keep going again as you work in the background. I have some questions that I wanted to ask Sharon and Ebony. Every time that we have someone new here, I love hearing them tell us about how they got started in ServiceNow. So let's go, Ebony.
All right. So how I got started in ServiceNow, like I said, I came through the Tech Bridge program. Didn't hear anything about it prior to. Didn't know what ServiceNow was. But sometimes you just have this type of like sign from the universe, if that makes any sense to anyone whatsoever. At the time, I had my daughter. She was about 6 months old, and I was just looking for a transition. And there it was on LinkedIn, this program called Tech Bridge. Everything was free, and I'm just like, wait a minute, this can't be it. Like,
that sounds like a scam.
Right.
Like, so, how many kidneys you want? Am I gonna wake up in an ice bucket?
So that's what happened. And from there, applied for the program, interviewed a couple times, and then they told me that I was one of the 25 selected out of like over 200 people. So
wow.
Yeah. So out of that, from there, what happened was that it was just pretty much drinking from a fire hose when it comes down to learning. So learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery within a 3-week session, and then nothing but ServiceNow. So diving into such topics as understanding record producers, catalog items, database views, etc., and then learning about
all from nothing.
Yes.
Did you have an IT background?
Absolutely not.
Nice. Look at you.
So what I actually was doing at the time was my prior job was actually selling apartments. So how do you relate selling apartments to IT, right? most people will want to know. Well, the great thing about it is that I'm able to relate things in a simple way to people because I used to be that person. So that's one of my superpowers is being able to just break things down simply and welcoming anyone that's interested in ServiceNow. I'd pretty much take them underneath my wing. So
Now, I really like about the group of people we have here that we all have really different and very unique origins. So I'm gonna first check in with Paige. Paige, how you doing? You ready for
We
us?
are, yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
We will go back to Sharon's story here shortly. Go for it, Paige.
All right. So I'm going to try and do as much of this as possible within App Engine Studio, and not just because it's one of the primary products I work with, but the way I had to share my screen, I only get one tab.
There's absolutely no bias here.
Yeah. It may seem like it, but no. It's just Chrome does not want to play nice with me today, so I only get this tab. So wish me luck. So we are starting within AES and coming over here to experience, or hopefully you saw where I went through and clicked to add an experience, picked portal, and now we're just following the prompts. I have heard that with Tokyo, it has become a lot easier to create new pages. And I'm hoping to see that.
I'm very excited to see that because my favorite thing on the platform is service portal. So hearing anything that'll jeopardize my job security in 1 to 2 maybe years is something I'm very interested in learning about.
It wouldn't jeopardize your job security. It would just give you something new you have to learn about quickly.
That takes effort. I mean, future employers, I totally put in a lot of effort on everything I do.
Nicely done.
Nice save.
All right. So it did create a new portal. I also got some new forms, which are interesting. Those did not exist before. Let's see what they are.
It looks like our friend Lisa in the chat wanted to clarify that she thinks the new experience enhancements are mostly on creating pages in the workspace, like a record page, etc., as they have presets now.
Those presets do appear to actually extend to the other experiences as well. I did make it that far earlier today just to see. So I wanted to make sure that this wouldn't be a total flop.
That's awesome. So ServiceNow is trying to auto-generate some of the basic fields and forms that they believe you're going to need.
Yeah, and it looks like they've already done that. So all I did was go in and ask for a new experience. It didn't prompt me to do anything else, and it has created a nice little basic portal for me. So that's nice.
Ooh, a landing page.
Yeah, let's see. It's mainly just the record page, but I think it applies to both portal forms. Sorry,
Brad, one of our
Brad.
ex-interns,
who is now a UIB expert.
Yeah, he graduated the internship program of Lady Coding Happy Hour, and he's now working at ServiceNow proper. We're so proud of him. Congratulations, Brad Tiltoon.
I'm not sure he's allowed to be here. I'm not sure I want him here to watch me.
I know, right? Don't look, Brad.
Oh no, I have no design. I have nothing.
What I do like about UI Builder is how simplistic it is, especially for people that may not come from a technical background. So being able to just, put things in there helps out a lot for people like me that just need to see it.
I mean, honestly, everything that Paige is doing right now would be several codes of CSS, as well as having to be in widget editor and not the portal designer view. which makes it so you can't preview everything as a whole like you can right now.
Right. I mean, so far I've just clicked around on some buttons.
Yes, but you're showing this while the complexity of UI Builder may still be high in what it can achieve. It's still relatively a what you see is what you get. You click something and you can immediately see what that's going to look like.
Absolutely.
I do find it really interesting that we get, how do I get back? That we get to change the background color.
I like Chris's statement.
Oh no, Chris. Oh no, Chris. That's it. Lady coding happy hours canceled. We're getting canceled.
All right.
No, I love how Sharon talks. She often translates for me.
That is true.
Not as much now that we're not working together.
I miss you so much.
Yes, agreed.
So Sharon, what are your origins?
My origins? Well, I was born
Yes.
in Kansas City, Missouri.
No, you know what I mean. Tell us your ServiceNow origin story in as few words as possible.
So I had a friend who worked in ServiceNow for many years and who told me for many years that I could do the same and that it would be a much better career in work-life balance and in the amount of challenge I had. And 8 years of ignoring really good advice, I finally got here. The slightly longer version is that I come from managing a life insurance company. I have a textile management degree. So when you come to non-traditional IT person, I feel like that really, that's me. And it's the great thing about this community is there is so much training that is available if you want to learn that I feel anybody who wants to can come in and learn it. And that the opportunities are here and you just gotta go out and try. So
you gotta put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation and be ready to face the reality that you're not going to be the big fish in the pond anymore. I think that was one of the big humbling things for me coming from just service desk, where customer service, I got that in spades. JavaScript skills. Whew. So Paige, what are you battling with right now?
Oh, back to confused. So trying to remember how all these data resources work.
ooh.
This is the time where we kick Brad out. We can do that, right?
Let's start with explain what is a data source.
So these, I'm not going to get the official terms on any of this correct, but the data resources are the way that you can bring in data from the system to be able to display it in individual widgets. So in this particular case, how do we get this to display my resources instead of knowledge base articles? Which I guess I could also look at instead of trying to adapt what they have. See what happens if you. I do at least want to look at the presets. So, card-based actions, card-based container, card-based divider. I don't even know what that was. That was just a data row. It's been a while since I've looked at this. Oh, no presets for me.
We have a question in the chat.
Oh, Lordy. That's brave.
So the question is, can we use SAS variables in the color selection boxes?
Let's see.
You wanna?
Oh, hello, resource aggregator. That's cute.
I mean, my next question would actually be, where's the theme settings for UI Builder held? Because that's where we have to.
Yeah, sure. Let's save the big ball of nothing that I've done. Branding
and
and
theming.
open current theme. We'll open in a new tab that I cannot show you. But yeah, that's where.
So then
Sharon has something. I like the name Chocolate Twist Yoga.
I did say that anybody who wants to learn ServiceNow, there is the information out there to find it. And if you need any help, you can find me on SN Devs. I'm Sharon Barnes. Glad to help. But there's the developer site, which I love for really step-by-step tutorials that take me through how to accomplish things on the platform. There's the Now Learning site, which has a lot more content. Very similar. It's got some step-by-step walkthroughs as well as some more in-depth, I like to say they're the why you should do things type of learning. And those are equally important because you need to know not just how to do stuff, but why you're doing it. Along with that, there are some YouTube tutorials that I would recommend from the developer site. I love Chuck Tomasi's stuff, and just going from there. But and one last plug for Now Learning. If you are interested in becoming a newly certified system administrator for ServiceNow, they have their fundamentals course at no cost again until the end of this month. That is how I got started.
So I do want to highlight what Brad just mentioned, which this is new in Tokyo, this page is. So where you can come in and just to kind of rehash what I actually did. I decided I was just going to create my own new page. And you do get this nice little template page now where you can select a standard record, which to me that looks a lot like what you get with Workspace. Mm-hmm. Obviously a 404 page and then a blank record. So let's see what the blank record does. Mm-hmm.
Now Learning is amazing, Mark.
Yes, it is.
What kind of cool stuff have you guys learned off of Now Learning?
Okay, so it's a little bit more advanced, but in 2018, I took the Service Portal Advanced course when it was first trialed over at Knowledge, and it was amazing. I learned a whole bunch, and it all went over my head. So it's been now almost 5 years since that, and I ended up wanting a refresher. I wanted to freshen up some skills. I wanted to remember some stuff because I was getting really frustrated with this one widget I was working on. And I discovered that Now Learning actually has the Service Portal Advanced course on it. And the recorded version is done. Paige, I don't want to get his name wrong. Was it Phil?
I will be honest, I zoned out for a second because I was reading Brad's comments.
I think his name is Phil, and his stuff is amazing, and it's hilarious. So if you want a great comedy show and or to learn a lot about Service Portal, take the Service Portal Advanced and the Service Portal. I think he also does the other class that's the lower level one. And he is hilarious. He kept me engaged and just watching the whole time. I loved it.
So we did find the presets, which is what Brad was mentioning. And he's saying if you build a page from scratch and drag the form components onto it, you'll see that all of the form components are using presets and controllers. And as I am scrolling through, that's exactly what I'm seeing. You'll see that each one of these has this nice little icon. It says it's preset versus some that are not. So let's see what that preset looks like. Did you know this component is using a preset? Yes, this is what I was going to see. Basically, the idea, as I understand it, is it does some of that configuration for you. So those data sources and such that I was staring at blankly earlier, it does some of that for you. And I will apologize, our lawn people have randomly shown up. So
For those of you who could not hear, her lawn people showed up, and now she is having to use her iPhone headset microphone, I believe, and it is not wanting to pick up every other word that she says. So please bear with us.
sorry. I will also try to speak louder. Lovely.
You are good.
So
Okay.
you've dragged the form component on here.
I did.
And are we showing the right table?
We are not. We are showing the incident table. So how do we show my table?
I'm going to suggest it's the third field down called table.
Probably, yeah.
Let's try that. Maybe.
And we can just table. Wait. Data.record.table. I know this.
Our intern says to go to the data resources.
Thank you, intern.
Sorry, ex-intern.
That's on the left side of the screen, and it pops out a menu. And in that, you've got table, code, and then incident. So probably need to...
Right, this is the data that it's pulling in. When I've done this in the past, I generally had to pop outside of the UI builder in order to actually modify whatever's pulling in. I was hoping that would no longer be the case, but I also haven't done this in a long time. Probably should have gone with something that I'm a little more familiar with right now, but what fun is that?
What fun is that? This is live Lady Coding Happy Hour. No rehearsals, no scripts, no idea what we're doing. Just having fun and chilling with the chat. In the chat, we're having a great conversation about how everyone has really diverse backgrounds. And honestly, that's one of the things that made me feel like I could actually do something in this field, because I'm still technically trying to get my bachelor's and I can't pass calculus, y'all. Can somebody tutor me in calculus? I'm about to take it for the third time.
I mean, I'm okay at math, but I don't remember much.
Referring to the parameters that you passed. Yeah.
Now, stats, I got you.
I wonder how that works. So if it's referring to the parameters that you're passing in, but I'm not seeing any parameters.
Maybe add the button on the right with
I
add.
mean, yeah, you can add them. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe you have to add them.
Funny story. One of our clients' instances upgraded to San Diego, and I think I spent a week wondering, where did this one form section go? And I saw it loading when I clicked on the form, but when it just would immediately go away, and I had no idea what was going on. And it turns out, y'all, there's a tiny little arrow on the right side of the screen that hides and shows things according to a user setting. So if your stuff is ever just magically, mysteriously disappearing, look at the UI. There might actually be something there.
Yes, Lisa, I did notice that. So Lisa says that the landing page does not have parameters, and I created a new variant. I did notice that, but I'm just going with it. Now it does have parameters. So,
How about you, Sharon? Like, what cool stuff have you learned on Now Learning? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, my cats came to
but I was also on mute.
My cats came to visit, and I figured you did not need the singing yellow tabby cats singing in the background. It is very hard for me to say what I love best about Now Learning or pick any one training, partially because I love drinking from the fire hydrant and I love learning. So I've taken around, well, greater than 400 training modules in Now Learning. But I would say I enjoyed their PPM module. That was just a really fun module to go through to learn how to use that. I have enjoyed their updates around asset management and learning a little bit more about how that works. And I would say the hardest one I've ever done would be the domain separation course, which I am still sort of working my way through.
That does sound difficult and not like something I want to do. Just to catch everyone up, once again, our intern has shown me the way, he and Lisa. So I did go in and I created a new page instead of a new variant, and then took the same steps, and they are correct. It does automatically now give you those parameters, which makes me feel a little bit better. Still not sure. Oh, look at that.
Would you mind showing us what you did to create a new page as opposed to a new variant? Where did you click to do that?
That is an excellent question. So for a new page, instead of clicking here with
Okay.
it's front and center, don't do that. You want create page.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Yes, it does. And it does bring up that same template form that we saw when we were creating the variant. And then from there, I just did blank record again. And it went ahead and it created my parameters for me. And everything just magically works. I mean, once I realized what I needed to do, that was actually very simple. Don't be like me. So I wonder what else what other widgets just automatically work. No, I'm just curious. So this does technically have an activity stream. I wonder what activity stream composes.
For this type of application that you're building, do you tend to have attachments to it?
No, but
Okay.
we can still see what that looks like. I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll want an attachment. I really, really wish I could open my other tab. It looks great to me. You guys will just have to trust me on that.
Oh, yes. I agree, Phil. The Now Create success packs are an amazing resource. When I was getting started as a BA, business analyst, I found it very, very helpful to see how implementations should go, how stories should be written, just general white papers of what you need for different resources. It's definitely useful.
Ooh,
And in the chat, it looks like Mike Moody decided to start ServiceNow on extreme difficulty. Starting with a domain separated instance is not something I would want to do today, much less 5 years ago.
That was brave. That's very brave.
And impressive.
Very impressive.
Sharon, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How did transitioning from a business analyst role to the developer role kind of work out? Like, how did you find yourself pivoting?
So I actually started as a admin/business analyst for my very first role, because they knew that I had the communication skills from managing life insurance and analyzing different needs of businesses. So that was part of it. And with that, it was just a lot of step-by-step, as stories needed it, learning a little bit more about ServiceNow development, as well as when I had extra downtime, just finding a topic and diving into what that is. Like, I chose to go and study the HR implementation, before I ever even knew I was going to need to have that information. So it's a different puzzle, if that makes sense. It's just a different puzzle. And it's a fun puzzle to have. And I do believe that because of my background, I have a unique way of looking at it and describing it like you do, where you're able to communicate that information to both the developers because you've learned how to talk that language, but also to those stakeholders who don't want you to hit them with a whole bunch of technical terms. They don't care if it's a client script or a business rule that does that. They care, does it do it?
Honestly, I think that's I wonder if this is a shared thread amongst those of us who all started somewhere else other than development, because it feels like we all excel in translating and speaking both languages of developer speak and customer speak.
I have not been super involved in this conversation because I'm still, poking around.
You're good.
But no, I started in at the service desk, so that's where I came from, was talking to customers all the time, and that was kind of my path into things, and I've found that has made it easier for me to talk to people about what I'm doing or what they need or what they want than it may have been had I not gone that route.
And I think it also goes to show that not only can you get, how do you call it? Many roads lead to Rome or something. I don't know that English saying. Sharon, help me. How do I say that?
I don't know what exact phrase you're going with, but I think you're trying for something along the lines of, it doesn't matter where you're coming from as long as you get there.
Yeah. All roads lead to Rome. I think it's really awesome to be able to show that, because nowadays society tells you need a degree. You need 5 years experience in order to get a beginner level job or an entry level job. But we have a lot of content on WomenNow.dev that's not just for women, on how to get started in ServiceNow. And actually, Sharon has in Paige maybe too, I can't remember. They have written their origin stories already. And I think Ebony owes me her blog post, so look forward to that one in the future.
Unfortunately, I don't think mine's on WomenNow. I believe that mine is actually on the developer blog. So
developer.servicenow.com. No, wait,
yep.
That's the main website. Which one's their blog link? Can one of the interns let us know that in the chat? Oh, look, there's a whole thing. It's almost like they do this for a living. Who could have guessed? You should totally go there. I also have some stuff on there.
Yes, you do also have some stuff on there.
I also have stuff on there.
So modest.
I think my first blog was actually about performance analytics and not being afraid of numbers. So if anyone is scared of performance analytics, actually, I love it. So feel free to reach out.
All right. Well, I will reach out to you because performance analytics is not one of my strong points.
I love it. Dashboards, reporting, all that jazz is my fave.
We should have let you drive then. Let you show us some dashboard magic.
We could do that next time, I promise. I'll show off.
I mean, we have 20 minutes left, so you're welcome. I am so distracted at this point. Even I'm going, what was I doing?
I was going to ask, have we achieved the goal of what you wanted the page to do? You wanted a way to input your different resources into your app, right?
Yeah, we haven't quite made that. I mean, we can display one, so that's lovely. That was easy. In fact, that was so easy that now I'm going, we need to do more, because that took 10 seconds once we figured it out.
Can we figure out how to do a new form to create a new record for your table?
Probably.
Ooh, actually, LH has an excellent suggestion. Add a save button.
Who needs a save button? I don't want to save things. I just want to stare at them. Okay.
In order to see it in the future, the save button's very important.
That is true.
Or your computer can just tell you every time you try to navigate away from something that's unsaved, are you sure you want to save or not save?
All right, so there's my lovely save button. Wow, the editing on here is horrible. I am not the UX person, so I'm sorry, Gabby.
I was gonna hold all judgment or comments on that. You're doing great, Paige. I believe in you.
Ooh, variants. Nope, that is. There we go.
That's a good one.
So a fun little tidbit, if you ever see anything like primary, secondary, tertiary, those variants are, they should be set on your theme, I believe. And it's all based off of Bootstrap variables almost, where it helps you make a standard for your button colors. And it's pretty neat. Like was referenced earlier, ServiceNow has like a weird CSAS CSS setup where you can use SAS variables with CSS, and that's a part of it all. Lisa says that you can use an action bar as a preset. It'll have a save button for you.
Oh, really?
You were trying to do it the hard mode, an action bar component.
Yeah, I saw that. I did not know what it was. So let's see. Oh, look at that!
Oh, look at that! It's a save button.
God,
I
I'm
mean,
over
I
here
like
trying to
having the button at the top and the bottom personally.
I have a feeling the button at the top just works.
It's actually going to work.
Okay, good point.
Whereas my button at the bottom was
Cosmetic?
Yep. That is an excellent way to put it. Let's get a little padding in there because everything was way too close.
All right, so
no.
Gabby, I know you do lots of portal design currently, and I've always wondered, is it better to just like put in the specific color that you want something to be when you're doing a portal or something like this, or is it better to customize the theme?
I need you to repeat the middle part of that sentence for me, please.
Okay, so you do portal stuff.
Yes.
Lots of portal stuff and good stuff because
So
I've seen some
much.
of it.
Allegedly.
But question I get asked from new people doing any type of theming or color selections is it better to use those sort of preset theme colors, or is it better to just make things the color you want them to be by using their specific code?
Oh my goodness, you're gonna get me on a rant, Sharon.
I know.
Okay, so
This was intentional.
oh, thanks. Good point. So the first thing that anybody should ever do is look up Travis Tolson's blog. He's got a great blog post on the CSS hierarchy of how it all works in ServiceNow, because you can put CSS on the widget instance, on the widget, on the page instance. You can put it on the theme. You can put it on the portal. You can put it basically you can put it in a style sheet attached to the theme. You can put it everywhere. But the whole point that other Tolson's blog, perfect. Thank you. That's the link right there. But the most important thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that your widgets are reusable, which is why you should use SAS variables. Imagine them as fancy words that let you shortcut to settings you have set elsewhere. So you want to have a bunch of variables that have like your if you ever work with a corporate brand or any organization that has a branding department, they're going to have almost like a design document that has their colors, and they only want you to use those colors. So if you put those as variables and you set it, for example, like primary color, brand primary 2, brand primary 3, you can then set yourself up to where if you ever end up wanting to use those widgets elsewhere, you don't have to manually change the color of the widgets or any of that stuff. You just create a new theme with the information already set there, and boom, all your widgets are magically recolored. Not magically, of course. But yes, so Travis Tolson is the other Tolson. My favorite Tolson is Sarah Tolson, who's one of the directors of WomenNow. That was a lot of Tolsons. But he's got it's a pretty okay blog, if I do say so myself.
It's awesome.
I don't have multiple pages bookmarked or anything.
So I think the short version of that is yes, you should make your themes into reusable. And I never get the term
if you
right.
design your widgets well using Sass variables, you should put 90% of it on your theme. Now,
very good.
Stuff that can go in there, stuff like spacing, things that are generally like typeface fonts, heading if you want them to be different, the headers. But like the meat and bones of each widget does need to go into the widget itself. And then you can use widget instance options if you want them to be able to, like the out of the box icon link widget. They have 3 widgets in one where you can change it using just one of the instance options. And it's super cool. It's really complex, but it gives the user a lot of customizability. I can't English right now.
I hate to interrupt you because it sounds like a really good conversation, but
no, go for it.
I do want to notate something that everyone in the comment section is also commenting on. But anyone that has dealt with UI Builder prior to Tokyo would know that this over here was mostly for looks and frustration and not to actually do anything with. But you can now drag the components around over here. So,
ooh.
Did you just pick that up and move it?
I did.
Do it again.
Into a new container. So, let's see.
One more time.
A new container. So I've got my new container, and now I can just drag it. And if I hover just right over it, it'll drop it right in there.
Oh, that actually affects the view.
Yeah, and you can reorder
dang.
them.
That is nice.
So look at that. I reordered them.
Quality of life things. Could you imagine?
I'm now just getting it in the totally wrong spot, though. Oops. I have things backwards. Oh, well. We're going to go with this as a button on the left now.
That's a feature, not a bug. Working as
feature.
designed. Ship it.
It was intentional. Look at that.
It's an artistic choice.
Look at that. One
Lefties
click.
would be happy. Lefties would definitely be happy.
So, looky there. Everyone that's, regularly used ServiceNow, though, will be very confused by the fact that it's on the top left. But
hey,
okay.
They did it to us. They moved the button to they moved the new UI action button to the right now when it used to be on the left, and it still messes me up.
How dare
they?
There have been a few times where I get caught looking around going, where's my new button? Right here.
So let's go ahead and test the page.
That throws me off.
Good
Well,
idea.
I would love to.
That would be a different tab.
That would be a different tab.
So you guys just have to trust me.
This is how UAT can go. Just trust me, it works, guys. It'll be fine.
I mean, it looks nice. It's real pretty.
To
it's got a save button. Let's see. I mean, I'm in a whole other window right now that I cannot show you.
Having helped run UATs, that is not an acceptable answer.
Well, it's a good thing that this is not something. And I did put this in the other window and hit save. So in fact, if you watch,
okay, can you try to get it on? Can you just reshare real quick so we can see the action going on and we can say we achieved something?
Wait, can you see?
Actually, we just
look
saw
at
something.
that. That's actually some of my favorite things about ServiceNow. If you're in a record and someone else is looking at it and you see that little wave sign circle next to description, that means someone else touched it. Don't touch it. Or you're about to lose all the stuff you just wrote in that box. You should save it before you refresh.
Yep. So, I mean, that I played around with some of this before. And I've got to say that even though there was some stumbling around, this was so much easier to do. just creating this
Honestly, if
page.
we were trying to build a portal widget, we'd still be over here on the HTML bones trying to figure out divs and columns and all that crap. This is way easier.
It really was. Once I got to all the right places, it was significantly easier. I mean, I didn't have to do anything to
Our
any of
intern
these spaces.
URL says that workspace user presence is new in Tokyo as well.
I did see that. I saw a widget that includes
A widget or a
user-
component? Get the branding
Sorry,
right. Marketing's
I'm
about to kill
sorry.
us.
Yeah, I actually work for him now too. But yeah, I see that with the presence record on there. So I mean, that's kind of cool.
That is cool.
It is.
How impressive. All right.
That is a really, I wonder if you can troll people with it, but that can be a topic of conversation for later. Just impersonate their boss and just open all of their tickets. Just
It's funny you mention that because I know in my past I've inadvertently done things like that where I've been impersonating someone and I've been on a record and they're like, why is such and such in this record? And I was like, oh, I forgot I was impersonating them. Sorry.
just logging as the VP of IT. But okay, so that is a perfect malicious compliance is a perfect segue to ending the show.
I agree.
So thank you guys so much for joining. I really have a lot of fun doing these little takeovers. I really appreciate the developer advocates at ServiceNow for humoring us, basically, when we say we want to just, kick them off their own show, call them interns, totally disrespect them lovingly. We really appreciate you guys giving us the space and time to get to hang out with the community and show amazing women developers that are actual real life people and not just stock images that marketing likes to put on their websites. Like, these people are actually like real developers and we all have different stories and we all got here honestly thanks to the resources that the dev advocates and ServiceNow has put out for us. There's a bunch of people who put in a lot of effort too into Tokyo. A lot of that's something I've been very lucky to see as an MVP. There's a lot of people who really value the community and they want to make the system way easier for us to use. I'm very excited to see some stuff coming out. But all of that heartfelt messaging, my Sprite was a 5 out of 5. I love Sprite. How about you, Paige?
My water was excellent.
Why do you think Lady Coding Happy Hour is important?
But it was in a fancy glass, so
Ooh, pinky out.
Honestly, I feel like it's important. I always roll back to when I started, but it's what I know. But when I started, there were a couple of people that had blogs and stuff, but they were all men. Every face I ever saw associated with ServiceNow was a guy. And so it's refreshing to see so many women coming into the ecosystem. And I just really, really enjoy getting to be on here and see all of your lovely faces. It makes me so happy.
Your turn, Sharon.
All right. So my Angry Orchard hard cider strawberry was absolutely delicious. I recommend this flavor a lot. It was very good. I shall have to get more. And as for why live code happy hour is important, I really think I sort of have to echo what Paige said, that seeing other successful women out there made me feel welcome. My very first job within the ServiceNow ecosystem, I was working with all guys. They were great guys. Don't get me wrong. They were among the best coworkers I have ever had, among the best bosses I've ever had. Love them. Second job, once again, still working mostly okay, I wasn't the only female, but now we've got 10% females, and that's better. That's nice. And then today, outside of this, my newest employer, I was sitting on a meeting of developers, and there were 5 of us ladies out of 5 people on the call, all developer, all ServiceNow. And it's nice to know that there are others of us out there.
Yeah,
On to
definitely.
you, Ebony.
The reason why this is important is because I feel like it gives hope. When you see women actually being able to develop, it shows you that you can do it too, especially coming from a non-technical background. If Paige can do it, if Gabby can do it, if Sharon can do it, heck, I know I can do it. You know, and just being able to look at these wonderful women, being able to create all types of things within the platform is great. When I worked for my previous job at Wellstar, I love that the diversity that was at that company. So I wasn't in a room with just men. I was in a room with women, and especially it was my first time actually seeing that women are in tech, and an even more of a rarity is seeing Black women in tech. So I consider us kind of like unicorns because we only represent 2% of women in the field. And I'm going to make a blog post about that. So be prepared.
Yes, more content. And the blog that she is talking about is womennow.dev. There is content for both men and women there. If any of our allies would like to write about what it's like being an ally and helping the cause and getting more women into tech, actually, our intern Earl had a great blog post that he posted too. And yes, Bea, the more content that other people write means the less blog posts I gotta write.
That also means any woman is welcome to write content as well. Technical,
Any
non-technical. We like all of it. So we have
all
a little bit
jokes
of
aside,
everything.
though, all the joking aside and putting on my serious face for a second, which is very difficult for me. Honestly, anybody out there, if you want to make content and if you want to do things and get yourself out there, you should try, and you should definitely do it, because there's a great bunch of communities and a great bunch of people that are gonna be happy to see you do things, like on sndevs.com, which is honestly the thing that helped me keep most of my jobs. I got a whole bunch of help there. There's this blog channel where people post and share tips, and they talk about what they like to write about, and you can be anything that you want to be. You can become the new UIB expert. You can go and become the next other Tolson of Service Portal, and you can really just find your niche and excel in what you want to excel in. But you definitely have to try, and I want to see more women getting out there and doing it. So if you know anybody who is even an inkling of interest, make sure that you tell them that the Now Learning ServiceNow, the Certified System Administrator course is still free until the end of the month, August 31st. And it's a $300 course for free. And if you finish it before August 31st, you also get the $150 voucher for free. And that's how I got into ServiceNow. If I hadn't been able to get that, I honestly would literally not be here right now. So it can definitely change your life. Like, I know all these other lovely ladies.
Definitely.
Intern. Yay! All these other lovely ladies did as well. And
oh, Brad says, someone please become a UIB expert.
That way we can stop asking him questions.
Now, in all fairness, I did try to get Ashley to come in, but it was very last minute. So she was
like literally 30 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. So yes, we will post a link in the chat for you. It's right down there too, developer.servicenow.com. Eve, we've got a blog post on finding entry-level jobs, and the answer to that is literally apply for every single job you see. If you want to do it, just apply, because it's a wish list and they're not really honestly expecting to get that most of the time. And if you show a willingness to learn, that's how I've gotten all of my jobs, because Lord knows that I don't know everything. But thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat. Y'all made it fun, a little bit less terrifying to get out here and talk to people. And yes, Eve, it is recorded, so you can go back and listen to all my bad jokes later. And thank you all so much for watching Lady Coding Happy Hour. Like, comment, subscribe so they let us back here. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.